Excuse me. Good morning. My name is Willie Lawson, and welcome to the Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. We trust that you are doing well this morning. It is a chilly 56 degrees here in West Central Florida. Stop it, y'all. I know a lot of you are like, well, you should be here in Minnesota. No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't be in Minnesota because it's cold in Minnesota. And I don't want to be cold. Y'all don't understand. I don't want to be cold. I have a little space heater here in the studio. I just turned it off because it makes so much noise. If it didn't make so much noise, it'd be on now. Promise you. Promise you that. Because here in the studio, in this part of the house, there's a big sliding glass door behind this fire scene here. And of course, you know what happens. The glass cools down, and it radiates the cold from outside right in here. And when I got up this morning, it was 47 degrees. It's warmed up quite a bit after the sun came up. Before we get started here today, I need to thank someone. I need to thank Alex at Frontier. Last night, there was an internet outage in my area, and then something happened to our internet here at the house. And when I got up, it was still out. I called and was told a couple of things, but the thing that upset me the most was that they would need a technician to come out, and that technician wouldn't be able to get out until Wednesday afternoon. Note that it's Monday morning. So that wasn't going to be a thing. I talked to a technician, and then I talked to a supervisor, and then I got on Twitter. If there is one reason at all to be on Twitter, this is the one. And I ended up getting a hold of Alex, who works at Ask Frontier, and we had a back and forth. And what I didn't know all the time that he was trying to repair or get my problem solved. And then sort of out of the blue, he DMs me and says, "Hey, you should be working now." And I'll be doggone. It was working. I kept the trouble ticket like I was told to do by Sarah at Ask Frontier, and they'll be out on Wednesday afternoon. Hopefully we'll still be working then, and whatever problems that have cropped up, they'll be able to solve. Because frankly, I almost cussed. This stuff costs too much money for it not to work. I mean, y'all feel me, right? I'm not wrong. Whatever you're paying, forget for if you're paying for cable and you're paying for TV and phone and all that stuff. Even now, if you're just paying for internet or you need fast internet, it costs too much money for it not to work. Ever. Yes, what I want is unreasonable. I want 100% uptime. I know. I used to work in the industry. I know how unreasonable that is. But I don't care. Thanks to Alex at Ask Frontier on Twitter. Nice job. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I talked bad about you until I had to talk good about you. All right. Let's get started with the story today. The Republican Party, the GOP, is planning to release a 100-page rebuttal to the January 6th Commission. That's supposedly today. It's supposed to release a whole bunch of stuff asking the DOJ to charge former President Donald Trump with, I don't know, insurrection, treason, unpaid parking tickets. I'm not sure what they're asking. But anyway, the story is this. House Republicans are planning to rebut the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol Hill protest when they're fighting to release this week. Representative Jim Banks, a Republican from Indiana, said the GOP is planning a response that focuses on security failures as Democrats push to keep momentum of the day alive. in their 100-page rebuttal, Banks alleges that the Capitol Hill police and the FBI were underprepared, noting that the January 6th panel has never dealt with the seriousness um, of their unpreparedness. Axios noted that the GOP is planning to release this report on this at the same time as the committee. Yeah, that's how you have to do it. The Republicans probed the Capitol Police, the FBI's intelligence gathering and dissemination, as well as the insufficient training and equipment we're giving to law enforcement. Contrary to the Republicans' report, the committee will focus on the former President Trump, which Banks claims is all about political payback from the Democrat charade. Representative Benny Thompson, a Democrat from Mississippi, the select committee chair, said that the 8 chapters of the report will be released on today's hearing on Monday, while the release of the full report will be, let's see here, on Wednesday. Joe Manchin, no, so that's the deal. So they want to release, the GOP is releasing their report or their rebuttal to whatever the January 6th committee has talked about. Now, somebody tweeted that, you know what, if the Republicans had just joined the committee, well, the problem was that the Republicans that Republican House leadership wanted to join the committee weren't allowed to. Elections have consequences. They weren't allowed to. So the deck was stacked against anybody who was going to take the other side in this committee, which ought to tell people right away that whatever's going to come out of this committee was predetermined. If you decide who the players are already and the topics discussed already in your investigation, then it only stands to reason that whatever the results are going to be what you planned in the first place, because you set up the groundwork for everything. Am I correct? Am I incorrect? Am I right or am I right? I'm right. So we're looking forward to the preliminary titillating events or reports coming from the January 6th select committee on January 6th today, and the full report on Wednesday. I know, because I know my friend Paul up in Wisconsin, the northern edge of the Fight Back Media universe, will be on this, and we will be able to dissect it down to the nth. Looking forward to that. All right. Here's something that I have to wonder aloud. Who cares? So what? Joe Manchin was asked on one of the Sunday shows if he was planning on leaving the Democrat Party. Now, Kristen Sinema, I guess, left the party officially and registered as an independent, as is Bernie Sanders. And in the same Bernie Sanders way, Kristen Sinema is going to caucus with the Democrats. The only thing that this does, and for her, it's a smart move, she can't be primary by Democrats. Now, that doesn't mean that she has a free ride to be a U.S. senator anymore, because the Democrats could put up a candidate and basically beat her every single time. Or she could split the Democrat vote and the Republican could win. Probably not, but that's a possibility. Now, Joe Manchin was asked the same question. After being asked about his comments regarding serving in the U.S. Senate as a, quote, independent voice, Manchin was asked if his remarks rang true for the near future. Here's what he said. He said, "The D does not saddle me to everything the Democrats want to do is right. I don't think Democrats have all the answers. I don't think Republicans are always wrong, Manchin said on the segment of CBS's Deface the Nation. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark Levin. However, he said for now he plans to stay true to his party, adding that he would wait to see how the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act plays out before making his final decision. Well, Senator Manchin, I can tell you how the infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act are working out. The Inflation Reduction Act doesn't. It doesn't. It hasn't, and it's not going to. And the infrastructure bill is basically get as much money to our friends as we can. This is just like the $780 billion porculus in the in the Obama administration. Get as much money out to our friends so we can get that, that payback on the campaign donation on the back end. That's what this is all about. Always has been, and unfortunately always will be. Here's what else he tried to say. If people are trying to stop something from doing so much good because of politics, thinking somebody else will get the credit for it, let's see how that plays out. And then I'll let you know later what I decide to do. So again, his comments come after Christian Sinema, the independent from Arizona, announced her departure from the Democrat Party, and instead registered as an independent last week, in which Manchin criticized her move. Manchin has wrangled with his fellow Democrats previously, most notably President Joe Biden's Build Back Better plan. CBS host Margaret Brennan questioned Manchin on why he would consider staying in the Democrat Party if it was so toxic. Why are you even staying in the party if it's toxic? Well, the deal is they want Manchin out because Manchin, until recently, gummed up the works. I may just soon have him out. Here's what he said. I don't put much validity in the identity of being a Republican or a Democrat. I think we're all Americans, Manchin said in response. Okay, so Manchin is trying to desperately play both sides against the middle. I think he fails. I think he'll fail miserably. I don't think you can do that at this point. I don't think you can do that. Maybe you could have done that 15 years ago or 20 years ago, but I don't think you can do that now. And I'll tell you why you can't do that. Let me show you why you can't. The battle lines have been drawn and become more and more defined every day. The battle lines have become more and more defined. Let me see if I can get you there. There you go. You can see it. Great. And because of things like this, you can't take one from column A from column B anymore, because the one you take from column B is every bit as toxic or maybe even more toxic than what you took from column A. Thanks to things like I just showed you. So no, it's not really that possible. Good luck, Joe. You're saying a bunch of the right stuff, but I don't think it gets you anything. We did a story on the thousands of illegal immigrants crossing the border into El Paso, Texas. It's going to get worse because Title 42 is going away. These people here were like Black Friday shoppers trying to get there early. People were showing up on the evening of Thanksgiving because they knew Friday morning would be nuts, or they showed up on Tuesday of that week because they knew that that Black Friday at the Best Buy would be insane. They want to be at the front of the line. But right now, the crisis at the border is about to get a lot worse, especially in the border states. They're preparing for an influx of illegal immigrants storming into the United States. A Border Patrol intelligence alert released a report warning that listen to me, tens of thousands of illegal immigrants are heading for this country. According to the report from the Customs Border and Protections, more than 40,000 illegal immigrants are said to be staged in the Mexican state of Chiapas along the Mexico-Guatemalan border, and soon will be knocking on the doors of the United States. The source claims that the Chiapas is currently seeking travel documents from the Mexican government that would allow them to trek north and legally leave the Mexican border state. Additionally, nearly 15,000 illegal immigrants from what's that? Casa, I believe it's pronounced, are already on their way to the U.S. El Paso, Texas has already encountered more than 7,000 immigrants crossing the border this weekend alone, completely overwhelming border agents. The situation at the border is so dire that even CNN has noticed it. In a headline titled, "Everyone can now agree the U.S. has a border crisis," citing what is one of the biggest arguments between Republicans and Democrats. CNN points out that no one is now doubting the chaos and the potential migrant surge that could be triggered by an imminent policy shift this week. The policy shift is states that Title 42, which is a Trump-era policy, is set to be lifted on Wednesday, the very same day they are seeking to release the information or the findings of the January 6th Select Committee. Even the most liberal of liberal leaders are acknowledging the problem. Governor Gavin Newsom, Democrat from California, says that his state does not have the capacity and tools to survive a migrant surge. Really? Okay, all you migrants, California's place you ought to be. Load up the truck and head to Beverly. All right. The fact is, what we've got right now is not working, and it's about to break in a post-Title 42 world unless we make some responsibility and we take some responsibility and ownership, he said. The Biden White House has blatantly ignored the issue, with President Joe Biden saying that there are more important things to worry about. If, and they will, thousands of illegals crossing the U.S. thanks to Biden's ignorance, and it's not his ignorance, it's his indifference. He will be forced to pay attention, not only by Republicans, but by Democrats who are demanding a change. Folks, this is going to happen. This is the Overton window that crazy people like Glenn Beck warned us about. Overwhelm the system, crush it, destroy it by simply overwhelming it. And that way you can make the changes that you need to make. You can throw out some of the system. You could do all sorts of things then. Was it Rahm Emanuel? Never let a good crisis go to waste, because it gives you the opportunity to do the things that you couldn't have done before. My friends, I wish it were different. I wish I had something more positive on a Monday, especially, to tell you. Oh, my coffee is kicking. How about that? And I took my medicine last night. I see it's empty. I took my medicine. I hope that everybody's happy. Yes, indeed. Oh, and it had some supplements in there too, some turmeric and some fish oil. So I should be lubed up and ready to go. In any case, I wish I had more positive news for you, but I don't. Again, I need to thank Alex at As Frontier. Thank you, Alex. Um, and I'll put his name. I'll put Alex at As Frontier down in the notes so you guys can thank him personally. If indeed you want to do that, that'd be great. Um, we got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye now.